Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Miss Saigon is one of the world's most successful and beloved musicals of all time. And I'm here at URBO for the biggest Miss Saigon reunion ever, where company members have flown in from around the world to be here. And I caught up with many of them. Give your name and spelling first.
Marc Oka, M-A-R-C-O-K-A.
So Marc, tell us what's happening here tonight at URBO.
Oh my God, it's the 25th anniversary of Miss Saigon for the Broadway company. It's just been so amazing. Bob Eder, our sound engineer on Facebook, said, well, we need to get a reunion together. And I said, well, I could do that. You know, I'm in the King and I hurt my foot and I had all this time in the world. And I said, well, you know, the age of Facebook, I'll just do it. So 15 minutes, I had a page up and you know, hours later there were 200 people on this page and we had to do 2 reunion dates, tonight and then September 21st, for the people who couldn't come in. So, you know, people are coming in from all around the country. Leia's coming in from Manila tonight. You know, hopefully she'll be able to make it. She's going through customs, I think, right now. So it's just been amazing. It's just wonderful but just to see all of these people. I haven't seen them in decades, and they have kids now. They have kids, and our TAMs are like 28 years old now, and I'm seeing these pictures, and look at this, they all have kids. They all have kids. We wanted them to bring all their children. It's just been such a wonderful experience. I've been having so much fun.
So give me your history. You worked with the original choreographer Bob Avion, right?
Yeah, I was the assistant to the choreographer Bob Avion for the original company, and the dance captain and the swing for the original show, and I was involved with the show for about 9 years off and on. They allowed me to go off and do Fosse and other shows, Bells Are Ringing, and doing other things and such, and I subbed for the second national tour, and I put all of these people into the show, you know. And back then, you know, Asian performers it was really hard to cast the show, because at that time there weren't a lot of Asian performers. We had to go all across the country, pick them out of high schools. You know, we advertised in all of the Asian American newspapers, and I had to teach these people how to dance. Some of them I had to teach them what stage right, stage left, upstage, downstage, and now they've gotten such wonderful careers from that, and it just makes me so proud. You know?
How excited are you to be here tonight for the reunion of Miss Saigon?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I know almost everybody here, which is great. And you know, when Miss Saigon came out, there was a lot of controversy, but you know, in the end, the Asian community had another show, because we've had Flower Drum, of course we have King and I, Flower Drum, and there's another show for us. And it's really, really important for our community, you know, that we're represented. And it ran for 8 years, and it's been all over the world, and it's so exciting. And we're happy that King and I is back also, you know. Anyway, I've been involved with my company, which is National Asian Artist Project. And I formed that so that the Asian artists would be cast in shows that they would never do. So I've produced Oklahoma Carousel, Hello Dolly, and Oliver. And I have a choir of 40 Asian singers, because if they're not working in those 3 shows, what are they doing? They're singing with me.
I love that. You know, going back to this, I was talking to Marc, who's Bob Avion's assistant at the time, and he said he had to teach a lot of Asians how to dance and do everything, and this was sort of the show that broke them out into really studying to get cast into a lot of shows.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was really important that they do break out, because you know they're doing you know, American Dream and all that. The choreography of westerns rather than doing the King and I, you know. So it's really, really important.
It's groundbreaking.
Absolutely groundbreaking in every sense of the word for us, you know. And hopefully allegiance.
Oh, here we are at URBO.
Richie Rich, I haven't seen you in so long. You're a superstar.
Will you help make me one?
Oh, please. Are you kidding? You were a superstar before I came along.
Listen, you look sensational. We're here at URBO for the Miss Saigon reunion.
Yeah.
Tell me what tonight means to you.
Well, it's interesting. It was just a fluke of timing. Marc Oka organized this whole thing, and what's so fascinating about it is there's one in August and one in September for the people that couldn't make perfect things. But to watch everybody come by and see all the kids and the babies, or see Jody Mocha and one of her daughters is in college, and I see Bob Billig over there, and I think Kevin's coming, and it's quite extraordinary in the heart of New York Times. 1991 that show opened, you know, and look, I have all my dog tags I wore from Broadway and the tours, and I'm going to give you one of these for your collection.
Love these.
But I save everything. I have jewelry through the ages. So anyway, so this is pretty great. My thing with Miss Saigon, and you know, God bless Cameron. First of all, he put so many people to work. But second of all, the controversy was the most painful thing about that show. For me, and you know, I love Les Mis. I am Les Mis. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel about it. It's my life. It's my thing. But I don't know. The music to Miss Saigon kills me, and I feel like the score never got its due because of all the controversy. And then all the controversy, which was about Lea Salonga and Jonathan Pryce, they got the Tony Awards, and then we lost Best Musical, right, to Will Rogers' Follies, and there's Claude Michel and Alain in front of me and Cameron next to me. That was really, really sad, but the politics of that, the cancellation, the advance, you'd go home and go to bed, you'd be talking to Cameron in Australia, you'd wake up in the morning, you'd be talking to London. It's sort of tragic, and of course Equity was feeling their oats back then. They were an all-time sort of rabble-rousing sort of stuff, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, anything that's worth fighting for is worth fighting for, but you know, I feel like it was shifted, the focus of what it really should have been. But the score, like Lea Salonga and I talk about this all the time, I still like I still taste your kisses. I died, no matter what. And sometimes I just put on the whole, if I can't listen to all of Miss Saigon at once, I can't be paying bills or doing anything around the house. I have to listen to the whole thing, and it's transportive. And all the focus, and then to see all the Chris's and all the Kims and all the engineers, and it's amazing. And just, it's so interesting to bump into you tonight, or to have you here, because I'm just in the process of transferring all my old VHS tapes and all the Sereno Coin assembled footage. I have VHS tapes of all of that, and I'm just now in the process. So I saw the Seattle company the other night, and so I got duplicates of everything so I could send people stuff and their things, or a TV special I did with Andrea McArdle. Nobody's ever seen That Easy to Be Hard, about the homeless. So it's pretty great, but a lot of talented people, and also, you know, that era of the sung-through musical, Les Mis, Phantom, Saigon, Sunset Boulevard, Aspects of Love. People went from show to show to show to show to show, and then all of a sudden the traditional book musical came back, and people sort of withered away, you know what I mean? But a lot of people fell in love and stayed in love and got married and had kids, and that's what I'm seeing around here. But I mean, I think everybody looks pretty damn good.
People look great.
I think so, and I think Cameron's gonna love watching this. Hi, Cam.
Tell me what tonight means to you.
Tonight is like coming home. To see these faces some that I've not seen since I left the show. I was in the show the first 2 years of the show, and some people I've not seen since my final day. So many of us moved to New York to do Miss Saigon, so whenever anybody would have a gathering, we would all move as a clump and did everything together for at least the first year. And so many of those same people are here tonight. It means the world to me.
Okay, do you remember your call back? And when you got the call, who'd you sing for, and what'd you do for that call back?
Okay, everything happened for me in a matter of a couple of days. I'd heard about Miss Saigon and all the rumors about, you know, Equity getting involved, and it may not happen, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I flew to New York on a Monday. I had my singer's call, I think at the Golden Theater in the afternoon. I was supposed to fly out that same night. They said, could you please stay for the dance call? I said, of course, I would change my stuff. Went to the Army Navy surplus store on 42nd Street, got some fatigue because I wanted to look like a GI, went to the callback, went back to Chicago where I was in the chorus of South Pacific at the Marriott Lincolnshire, and after a 2-show day, I got a call at 1 in the morning from the Vinny Liff, and I thought it was a joke. And he said, Alton, this is Vinny. I said, is this really Vinny? He goes, yes, it is. He goes, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking it's one of my friends playing a joke because they knew how badly I wanted this. And he goes, how do you feel about moving to New York? And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Also, how do you feel about understudying Hinton Ballard in the role of John? I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he was like, I was like, is this for real? Are you really Vinny Liff? He's like, yes, this is really Vinny Liff. Congratulations. I'll see you when you get to New York. And dude, my life has never been the same.
So here we are at the Miss Saigon reunion. Tell me what tonight means to you.
Well, it's very exciting. It was a big part of my life. I was in the show for 3.5 years, from 92 to 95. I loved the experience, and it's special to see old friends and wonderful actors in this community. It's just a great thing to be here.
Favorite memories for you over the time period in Miss Saigon?
Well, a couple. My last performance was pretty amazing because the cast does a lot of very interesting things. They do a thing called lotioning, where they lotion everyone that is leaving the show. You get covered with it. And they also gave me, you know, the solo saxophone? At the end, I didn't know how to play a saxophone, and whoever's leaving the show, they throw the saxophone on them, and in the middle of the show, you have to sit there and pretend like you know how to play it. But I was thinking of a story when I had my put-in. I was one of the GIs on the fence, and I was one of the last people to go into the helicopter before it takes off. Well, we don't really go into the helicopter. We actually go up the stairs, grab a bar, and drop into a little booth underneath, and then head off. I'm giving the secret away. Shh. And there's no rehearsal because the the tech of it is just too expensive. So they said, go up the stairs, grab the bar, and go. So I did. I went up the stairs. I grabbed what I thought was the bar, dropped, and I'm sitting in the booth going, why are my hands all warm? And suddenly I got out of there and I'm covered in blood. I cut my hands open, grabbed the wrong bar. Not a good thing.
We are here tonight at the Miss Saigon reunion. Bob, tell me what tonight means to you.
This is so great because it's been almost 25 years since we first started Miss Saigon, and over the time that I was involved with it, for the 10 years that it ran in New York, we did the Broadway company, we did 2 national tours, we did a Tokyo production, we did Toronto, and so we have a huge family of Saigonites. And it's wonderful, and we're spread all over the world, really. And so it's great to have a night where everybody can come back and we can see each other, people we haven't seen in years, some people I haven't seen in, 20 years. So it's fantastic. It's great seeing all these people again.
So you were originally working on Les Mis. When you heard about Miss Saigon, tell me how you got Miss Saigon to musical direct.
Well, I was fortunate enough to be asked to be music director of Les Miserables, which is very exciting in itself. And then I heard, while we were working on Les Mis, I knew that Claude Michel and Alain were working on Miss Saigon, and they were getting ready to open that in London. And I said to Claude Michel one day, I said, I would love to work on Miss Saigon when it comes to Broadway. And he said, okay, we'll make that happen. And so I got to go to the opening night performance in London and see that. I was invited to an orchestra rehearsal to see them working on the orchestrations, and then got to go back and actually watch performances and study the show and work with Martin Koch, who is the music director in London, and really study the show and learn it to be able to do it in New York.
So here we are at the Miss Saigon reunion. Is it surreal?
It is. It's so much fun to see all of our old castmates, and everyone looks amazing. I mean, everyone looks the same. I mean, not me, but everyone else looks the same.
You look the same. Now, you were a Kim. How did you join the show?
I was in the original cast. Cameron and the creative team found me in Hawaii before London, and they couldn't take me to London, so they brought me in for the Broadway. So I was in the original Broadway company. Yeah.
Do you remember your call back and that phone call you got that you were cast in Miss Saigon?
Yes, Vinny Liff called me and said, they love you. They want to have you in the ensemble and be Leia's understudy. And I was like, is this really happening? Because you don't ever think that that's going to happen. I was working at a hotel in Hawaii, and now I'm going to move to New York. And I kept my apartment in New York, and in Hawaii, and I said, oh, I should be gone maybe 3 months, and it's been 25 years now. So yeah.
Okay, what was it like learning this score? I mean, Alon and Claude. Tell me about that, and working with Cameron.
Oh my God! Well, Cameron really believed in the show, and he spent a lot of time, and because I had never done anything before, he paid for me to have voice lessons for the whole time I did the show. He paid for me to train, and they were all so great, and learning the music from Claude Michel, who's like the most passionate musician ever. I mean, fantastic, So you learn it from, the people who created it, and we've stayed in touch because my husband still works for them. So.
Okay, we're going to talk about this. So you met your husband in the show. He was your Chris?
Yes. After I left the Broadway company, I went to do it on the tour, and I was playing Kim as the Kim alternate, and they brought in Peter to play Chris there. And it was sad because when Peter first came in, he replaced Eric Kunze, who I really loved, and Eric and I were crying in the dressing room. I was like, I don't want you to go. Who's this stupid Peter Lockyer? And then the next thing you know, we're married. So yeah. And yeah, we've been together 20 years. So Cameron kind of gave me a new life in New York, and I met my husband doing that. So yeah.
You have a favorite story. You were like medical swing. Tell me about that in this show.
I was called in to swing for Saigon because we had the highest rate, higher than the Cats, stage, and I was called in to swing for injuries, and ultimately they realized that we needed to have some sort of contractual thing. It wasn't official, but it wasn't like an official, just a swing, but a medical swing, because a lot of these dance shows with Jerome Robbins Broadway and a lot of the more dancer shows like Chorus Line also, you really need to have that. So it was important for Equity to realize that, and I think they did.
Craziest story. Didn't something happen? We had to bring someone off the stage and then finish the scene?
Yes. So one night during, one of these scenes, one of the girls tripped on this rake stage, and she tripped so that where the scene, the doorway, you could see her body, and I was like, oh my gosh, she cannot be there while the principals are singing. So I decided to just take her legs and just pull her into the wings so that she would not be seen while you're doing the love duet. And everybody was just cracking up, but I said, you know what, something needs to be done. Not just laughing, but something needs to be pulled off. And she was just terrified, because she was she fell and she was hurt. So.
And you finished the scene?
We finished the scene, yeah.
So here we are at the Miss Saigon reunion. What does tonight mean to you?
Oh my God, it means love, family, and friends, creative people, life goes on, and just a magical time that we all did meet through Miss Saigon.
Because you were there with Bob Avion from the beginning. You assisted him on the New York production here in New York, right?
New York production here, and in London I went over and we worked on things. Bob evolved the show each time he worked on it, which was a great privilege to be around. So yeah, he also had another assistant, Maggie Goodwin. And Maggie and I were good friends, and the three of us, we tripped around and just kept on choreographing and enhancing the show and making it better and better. And what we did in New York then went to London, and what we did in London went to New York, so it was all one big happy.
Very creative.
Very creative and easy. Yeah. It was very easy and calm.
Did you know early on when you got involved that this was going to be something really special?
Yes, I just didn't know it would go that far. I mean, you knew it was special just because of all the controversy that went on before it even hit. And I think because of the people that were in charge, it was going to be special also.
What was it like being a part of this show? A lot of shows are special, but I've heard so many incredible stories about how this show changed people in so many ways.
Well, it was period in our history that we sort of wanted to forget, and the love story just was such an amazing, part of this craziness that was happening all around these two lovers. And so there hasn't been, there have been plays about Vietnam, but not a really successful musical like this, and by two composers and writers that were just amazing, from Les Mis, and I think it's just, it's a masterpiece, and it changed people's way of looking at the war. Because of the love story around it, and that he had to leave this girl behind, and yet what happened to her with having this son, and him trying to find her, and so many. It was real because this happened to so many GIs, so many men and women over there, and years later, and that's the impact. When you look at that picture that inspired this show, you just well up inside, because you can see, what this woman is going through, having to give her child up, and why that, how they wrote this incredible music and this great story, which is an old classic. That's not new. We've had these stories around forever, but I think the combination of this war and everything that sort of hovers around it, and this beautiful music, and being in the original company with Jonathan Pryce and Hinton Battle and Lea Salonga and Liz Calloway, who are some are here, not all of them, and working, with Nick Heitner, and that was just something really special. That anytime you do an original piece and you get to create something, it stays with you, it stays in your heart, and it's just something special forever. So
here we are. What does this reunion mean to you tonight?
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing to see so many people that I haven't seen in so long, so many great memories. It's such like coming home. It's really like coming home.
You all look sensational.
Thank you.
So you're the longest running Ellen on Broadway, right?
Yes, from what I know, I think I did it the longest on Broadway. What
was it like playing that role? What it mean to you personally and creatively?
Oh, it was really such a dream come true. I actually was lucky enough to come to the opening night and go to the opening party when I saw Liz Calloway do it, and who doesn't love Liz Calloway? Amazing, and a beautiful voice of an angel. And just really, it was a dream come true. And Vinnie Liff, who, God rest his soul, beautiful man, helped bring me in for people to see, and when he gave me a phone call and I knew that I got the job, it just was a dream. Yeah.
So tell me what tonight means to you.
Wow, it's just great to see so many people that I haven't seen. The show closed, I guess it's 16 years ago now, and some of these people I haven't seen since then. So what I did, the final performance is on YouTube. I never knew that until somebody told me. So I watched it before I came, just to get those memories back. So it feels great to be here.
So you started in the first national tour, right?
I started in the first national tour, yeah, in the ensemble, and eventually got a understudy of John. Got John on the first national. I closed it. We closed that in Vancouver, and shortly after that I got a chance to come to Broadway, and I did the last eight months of John on Broadway, and there were so many things happening, because I don't know if it was the 2000th performance or something happened around that time in those last 8 months, and there was a big party on Chelsea Pier, and then closing it and working with Leah, it was great, and Will. Yeah.
Here we are. What does tonight mean to you?
Oh my God, it's like, this is my first Broadway show, and the people are just like family. It's so wonderful seeing everyone. Everyone's good and healthy, and it's great.
So take me back to the beginning. First Broadway show. Do you remember your call back, or when the call came in saying, you've got it?
Oh yeah, me and my roommate got Broadway shows at the same time. She got Les Mis and I got Miss Saigon. So it's like, how often does that happen in an apartment, So yeah, I'll always remember that.
So what was your last callback like?
We had a dance for Bob Avian, and then we had to sing too. So Vinnie Liff is an amazing casting director. I miss him dearly. I miss him dearly. But
that must have been a great phone call to find out that you got cast, right?
Yeah, definitely. Amazing phone call.
Do you remember the first night you went on? Because you were hired as a swing,
yes,
right?
I was a swing. I covered 22 different guys and 10 different girls. Then I became dance captain, so I taught the show to all the new people. My first night on, Sean McDermott was going on for Chris, so I went on for Sean, and it was for about a 2-week period of time, actually, so it was nice.